Detoxify your mind and body. Be the change you want to see. Small steps towards living better. Small steps to where I want to be.
Today's video is discussing what is the natural food for humans. Now, there is a lot of controversy about what our natural diet should consist of. What are we meant to be eating? Is it meat? Is it dairy? Is it fruits and vegetables, grain products? What is our natural food? And I want to discuss just a couple different aspects that we could take a look at to help us determine what we should be eating. So my first thing that I want to cover is, what tastes best in its natural form. What is our tongue designed to pick up as a good taste for our bodies? Now, if I were walking around in nature, I came across a field of rice or beans or potatoes even, would I sit down and make a meal out of that? Would I get down, smell it, taste it, and then want to make an entire meal out of that food? Probably not. Beans, rice, and potatoes don't generally taste the best to us unless they are cooked. So, without altering a food, what else might I come across in nature that fits the taste buds of, myself as a human? What is going to tip me off and make me want to sit down and have a meal? If I walk across, a dead raccoon, am I going to smell that, taste it, and then sit down and devour that raccoon body? Probably not. That's not really what my tongue is designed to let me know, hey, this tastes good or this smells good. So what else might I come across? Let's see, an apple tree, or a bush of berries, or a grapevine, or an orange tree. Am I going to come across those things and want to sit down and have a meal before I wander off into the woods? Probably. That is what our tongues are designed to pick up as tasting good and what we should be allowing into our bodies. Alright, so what's another thing that we can look at to determine if a food is meant to be in our bodies? Well, we can look at the digestion, the easiness or the length of time it takes for us to digest a food. So again, the fruits, berries, and melons, the things that taste best to us in their natural form, are the best digesting as well. So what else can we think of that would help us determine if a food should be going into our bodies? Well, which of these foods, do they meet our basic needs? Do they help promote health, the basic principles that we need to follow to be healthy? Well, let's see. Hydration. These foods that are the highest in hydration, the fruits, berries, and melons, seem to have the higher amount of water in them. Just like our bodies, which are roughly 60 to 70% water, based on, the general population. It could possibly be a little lower because so many people are eating diets that are so deficient in liquid and water. So the fruits, berries, and melons have that high water content to match the basic need for our bodies to be hydrated, because hydration affects everything in our bodies. It affects digestion, it affects our nervous system, it affects all of our metabolic processes, our brain, our thoughts. You know, a lot of people are sick just mainly because they don't have enough hydration in their bodies. And it's something that so many people fail to recognize, is the amount of liquids that not only they are drinking, such as a glass of water, but the amount of liquid that they're getting in their foods. Because this liquid is structured liquid. It is perfectly designed for our bodies to utilize, absorb, and to assimilate. So these are the things that we want to look at when determining if a food is optimally influencing our body towards health. So what else is in these fruits, berries, and melons that seem to be so perfect for our bodies? Well, we have high fiber. You know, fiber is essential for digestion, for regulating blood sugar, for elimination. You know, it's like a broom sweeping through our intestinal tract, as well as the soluble fiber, which gets into the bloodstream and helps pull out excess cholesterol and other things like that that are so beneficial to keeping us in a healthy state. Antioxidants, which help to prevent free radical production and free radical an overabundance of free radicals, because no matter what we're doing, we're going to be creating free radicals. It's just the process of life. It is a byproduct of cellular respiration, and it's just something that's going to happen. So what do we have available to us that is going to help prevent a lot of that oxidative stress from creating, early aging, brain and nervous system degeneration, mental aptitude, and cognitive abilities? It's going to be consuming more of the foods that contain antioxidants that are going to help limit the amount of free radical damage that is done in the body. So we've got the hydration, we've got the fiber, we've got the antioxidants, and we should also mention the minerals, which are so important for also just all the metabolic functions, for regulating our hormones, for regulating blood pressure, all the different things in the body. We have to have proper mineral composition within our bodies. So minerals, antioxidants, fiber, and water. These are all contained in fruits, berries, melons, leafy green herbs, and things like that. So these are really the foods that we don't have to do any altering to in order to enjoy them. With potatoes, with rice, beans, and meat products, dairy products, there's a lot of processing that has to take place in order for our bodies to recognize those as tasting good. So we also can think of, when you cook a food, you alter the fiber, the function of the fiber. So when you eat a raw food, the fiber is intact, other than, from you chewing, the natural process of chewing and digestion, but that fiber stays intact and easily able to pick up toxins in the GI tract and remove those in a timely manner. When we cook the food, the fiber breaks down and it isn't allowed to do its job as properly or efficiently as it would if it was in its raw form. So we're eating, mushy fiber that isn't going to pick up as many toxins along the way. So really we're not helping our bodies eliminate as well as it could be. Even if you're going to the bathroom, at least once a day, that food, that fiber, isn't able to pick up as many toxins or other products that are in the GI tract as efficiently as if they were raw. One other thing that I think about when I compare raw and cooked foods is, even if it's vegetables or fruits, what amount of vibration or energy am I getting from that food, as well as antioxidants, the minerals, and the vitamins. A lot of vitamins are heat sensitive. So when we cook a food, we actually deplete the amount of vitamins that are available to us when we eat that food. So there are a lot of people that like to get on the bandwagon of, well, when you cook a carrot, the beta carotene is much more available than in a raw carrot. Or in broccoli, there's a lot more nutrition that you get out of it when you steam or cook that broccoli. Now, while this may be true, that is not enough to convince me that I need to be cooking my foods to get the optimal level of nutrition from them. Honestly, my personal opinion is, if you feel like getting that one nutrient that seems to elevate its availability to us after steaming or cooking it, there's a pretty good chance there are other foods you can eat to get more of that said nutrient. You're not just raising the availability of that one or two nutrients in the carrots or the broccoli, but you're depleting so many of the other vital properties of that food. The water content, which is going to help with digestion in the first place. So if you don't digest that food properly and it gets into your intestines, you're not going to get that anyways from that food, whatever you were trying to get out of it. Also, you're taking down the other phytochemicals and vitamins, minerals that were meant to be taken in with that nutrient that you're trying to get more of. So the body isn't going to see it as naturally as it would if it came in its raw form with all of its friends, the other nutrients that typically the body would see it come down through the esophagus into the stomach as. So, those are just my personal viewpoints and what makes sense when I think about it. Either way, getting a general discussion about, just sitting back without thinking about the ads, some of the research that's out there, that we don't really know the true motive behind it. Research can be, biased and influenced by money. So it's very important that we look at it from a standpoint of, okay, it could be legitimate research. Definitely. There is some good research out there, of course. But, I still want to sit back and analyze everything, whether it fits my viewpoints or not, so that I can make the best decision based on both my intuition, what really makes sense when I just kind of try to stop thinking so much about things, plus, the analytical side, but I try to keep my intuition at more of my decision making than when I try to get too analytical, too science based, and, just try to understand that no other creature has to rely on science to, understand what it has to eat, or understand, what is best for its health, because these animals, unless they are domesticated, are living very healthy, and they're not, requiring doctor visits, or, having to Google up what the best combination of foods are. Alright guys, so I want to leave you with a final thought, and that is, if there is a food that we must alter in some way in order for it to taste good to us, is that a food that you would think would be an optimal food for our bodies, for our digestive systems, for our anatomy and physiology? Do you think that it makes sense that we would have to alter something in order to get the highest amount of nutrition from it that we optimally need in our bodies?